Hey guys, how you doing? This is OV Transport Guy coming to you for another video. So, here's a question for you. When you're picking up passengers, clients, uh, whichever the case is, and let's just say obviously this is going to be at night, is it okay to let them bring their drink as in liquor, beer, wine, whatever you want to call it, in with you with the vehicle? And there are some mixed feelings about that. Some people will say, no, they shouldn't. They should either leave it wherever they're at, pour it out. I don't want that stuff in my car. And perhaps that may be the wise thing to do, right? There's another option too. Uh, yeah, go ahead and bring it in, but if you can please uh, close it and don't drink out of it until uh, you're out from my vehicle, or at least make sure there's a top on it. Uh, you'll find a lot of people respond a little bit better, you know. Um, but the question then becomes, what if they still are sipping on the drink? You know what I'm saying? Now, true, there's a few things you want to consider. For one, if they're drinking alcohol and you allow them in your vehicle with it, it's perfectly fine for them to have it in their hand, have it closed up. And as your discretion, yeah, they shouldn't be drinking it in there. That would be the best route. I don't see an issue with them bringing a drink with them. The whole purpose of why they don't want to drive is so that they can drink, right? So you got to consider that. But two, also, what if they have this drink and they're already inebriated? If they're already drunk? Well, for one, if it's a lot of people, don't have them in your front seat. This is absolutely negative. Don't do it. And here is exactly why. Because what happens if you get pulled over and this person has his drink in his hand, even if it's closed, they can give the officer reason to harass you. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, even if it's in the bag concealed, but it happens to be sitting up here in a cup holder, or they may be holding it in their lap. You know, again, you don't want to give any reason for the officers to deal with you any type of way. Uh, so that's the obvious thing. Now we know these things, but we should really apply it. You know what I'm saying? Now there's obviously another option too. That is, they sit in the back. Uh, if you have a vehicle like mine, that's an SUV. Uh, sit them all the way to the back. Uh, but there is one critical thing you want to be aware of, because this actually happened to me. Uh, if you're picking up people, you need to be sure you pay attention to however many people. This is why a lot of drivers do not like taking X amount of people, uh, because of the simple fact there's usually a good one and there's usually a bad one. There's usually a drunk one, whatever the case is. And a lot of times, if you're not paying attention, especially at night, that person can have that drink in their hand and leave it in your vehicle. So what happened to me a day or two later, I did not, well, I'm sorry, I take that back. Uh, the first time it happened to me, a gentleman had actually spilled it, and it didn't get on my carpet, it got on my rugs. Thank God I actually, am a fanatic when it comes to the amount of carpet or rugs that I have, waterproof resistant type of deal rugs on my floor. Otherwise, it would smell like alcohol real bad. And I did smell it because I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Why does it smell like alcohol? And I look in the back, and actually it was behind the seat, sitting right there, but it had already kind of spilled over. Thankfully, it wasn't too much, but could have been a bad thing. Also, another thing to consider too, if you have people drinking your vehicle, be watchful of what they do. coming in, leaving out. Survey your area really well. Uh, the only bad part about having a dark vehicle inside, like mine's, sometimes you may not be able to see stuff right away. And I also found a container in my cup holder in the back. Oh man, I was upset too. I don't know who it was, or whatever. But these type of things happen. Now, obviously, you know, you don't want to beat yourself up about it because I mean, these type of things do kind of happen. Um, when you're taking X amount of people. Um, but just consider that you want to check your surroundings, right? You also want to make sure that there's nothing behind the seat or under your seat, especially if you're picking up more clients. Can you imagine having alcohol spilled and then you pick up somebody else and they're smelling something? They may not necessarily say anything, but they give you a bad rating. And God forbid it happens to one of your private clients. Oh, that's a bad thing. So, these are things just to consider, you know, being aware of your surroundings and you can say yes or no to people that's just drinking. Now keep in mind, could this affect your tip or something of that nature? Yes, it could. But at the same time, don't be a pushover. You can tell them politely, uh, you can ask them, yeah, you got a drink or whatever the case is. They'll say, yeah, hey, can you please be sure not to leave your drink uh, in the vehicle with you? And then just make sure you hold them accountable, and you do it the right way with the right tone. Tone is absolutely very important because if you do it in a ruthless way talking to them, some people, especially if they drink, and you guys know this, they may just do it just to get away with it. I mean, what are you gonna do? So you never really know. So use proper tone when talking with people, right? And always check your surroundings. Uh, could it affect your tip? Sure, it could. But at the same time, you don't want people messing up your car either. So, in other words, if you're going to allow people to have liquor in the vehicle, be sure there are boundaries and ground rules. And when you do that, then you feel more comfortable um, with them having their drink or food in the vehicle, provided they pick up after themselves. Set boundaries. You got to do that first off. Like I said, you don't have to necessarily raise the hammer at them, but hey, you're in my vehicle. These are the rules I need you to abide by. And when you do that, everything goes smooth. Boundaries are set, doing the right way, and then you can choose to whether they can have their drink in their vehicle or not. So that's it. OV Transport Guy, another video. Signing off. Talk to you later. Bye for now.